Innocence was a wake-up call in a crotchless tuxedo. Oh, the foibles of powerful men. The world was going cheap. There was a queue to get in. Riding the 1035 elevator up to the next dimension, the muse was licking her fingers with that kind of look on her face. Chocolate Kissingers, she said. He tried to remember the old guy who played Little Boy Blue in the movies all those years ago and now just wanted a hard one for Christmas. Things get rarer with time. The ascent produced its own brand of vertigo she knowingly called a rectal fissure. Don't worry, she said, they lie about everything. It was 1041 and gravity was still making gestalt faces in the polished chromium. Was it true that once you arrived you never looked back? The Kissinger rolled on the floor. Here, she picked it up. Try one.
Motherfucker, and then incorporate them into everyday speech. That's right, you are a badass motherfucker. We're also partial to the word badass. You make one badass quesadilla. You drive that Volvo like a motherfucker. But inside we are filled with sadness for the ideas of the lives we could have built, for the ones that got away and the ones we fucked when we were on a bender, for being trained by the world around us to be good at one thing that another person can take away in an instant.
And for all the juice cleanses we did when we thought it was healthy. And for the years we thought butter was bad for us.
My lover. Weirder. My lover is a foreign country, and I am grasping for the guidebook. The way he moves about, it's like he breathes a different air. We walk the streets at different speeds. The words he speaks sound so good, rolling off the tongue, but sometimes I don't have the faintest idea what they mean.
Hey, soldier! In baseball, were you a pitcher or a catcher? You got the answer. But from the looks of it, yeah, I see a strong-arm pitcher. You like to chuck heat right down the middle, don't you? Sometimes work in the corners. You know, yeah. Me, I like to catch. I like seeing all the action when they get to home plate. I bet you had a wide stance, slugger. Just Josh and just Frankenheimering around. Hey, look who's here. It's Janine. Voila. Rudy can make a blowjob appear out of nowhere. What do you say, soldier? You want to go around the block with Janine? Or is she too much muchness for you? I know she's too much muchness for me. What's the score, Miss Muchness? 20 bucks to third, 50 for all the way home? Come on, soldier, stand up there and take your whiffs. Don't be afraid. It's the most natural thing in the world.
He was a horrible gossip and would talk about the boys at camp and the ones who went to his school, about the older ones especially and all the sex they had because that was a normal thing to do. He'd tell me stories about their trips to Mexico and Venezuela, tell me which ones hated their fathers or had horrible mothers or were rescued from horrible schools. He'd show me dirty movies to inspire me to try harder with my body, for it was truly impressive how a guy could shoot his wad that far. It didn't matter that I didn't have a wad yet, but sometimes a small pearl of clear lube would appear at the tip, and he would lick it off, because that was my accomplishment. And even though it wasn't ready yet, he was proud of me. I knew the names of animals, the silhouettes of birds, and the sounds an engine makes when climbing up a hill. I could tell what gear and how far away his truck was, and had memorized the avionic controls of the F-16 fighter jets that patrolled the coast. He showed me how to fashion a battery from a potato, how to flood an engine. I told him the speed of a bullet underwater, the speed of the Earth around the sun. He told me that floating in space, in orbit, was nothing more than endless falling.
Well, apparently they do this every 2 weeks. Beautiful. I hope everybody's going to be here. We're on camera now.